Hello again, it's me, Hatman. Well, it's Saturday the 17th of April 2010 and they're having a ceremony, or they have done, in Warsaw in Poland to commemorate the terrible loss of life last week on Saturday when that Polish plane crashed in Smolensk. Apparently, Lech Kaczynski, the president of Poland, and his wife Maria were among the 96 people, most of them top brass and leading figures in Poland, who died in that terrible crash. And the irony is they were only on their way to Smolensk to commemorate the Katyn massacres, when the Russians apparently killed 15,000 Polish officers at the beginning of the Second World War. Of course, not many of the world leaders that was planning to go was able to get there because of this volcanic plume that's being contaminating all of the air and stuff. And where's it originating from? Reykjavik in Iceland. Well, not content with nearly bringing about the world economic collapse, although I don't think it was Iceland's problem, but they had problems with their banks, didn't they? And lots of savers here in Britain lost their money, but the government had to step in to guarantee it, and now the Icelanders are saying they don't want to pay the money back. And on top of that, they're spewing out plumes of volcanic ash and disrupting the whole of the European air transport system. That's not very good, is it? I'll tell you what really makes me annoyed, although I've not been directly affected. The minute there's a problem and you can't get your flight, either going to or coming from wherever it is you're travelling to, all of the other transport services immediately start to profiteer, don't they? Prices that were, reasonable or quite high, in fact, certainly skyrocket. I heard one report that, if you wanted to go on the Eurostar, normally you'd pay about £40 or £50 or maybe £90 for a ticket, and they've suddenly become £300 to get a ticket to go on a train just to cross the channel or something. I mean, and then hotels and all of those prices have gone up, and a lot of people won't get compensated, will they? Because apparently people are saying that this is an act of God, and so they won't be covered. And if you are covered, you won't be covered for out-of-pocket expenses. You might be able to claim back the price of your ticket, but if you've got to stay in a hotel or take other transport services, then you might not get that money back. And of course there's all those people who don't care about the desperate travellers and in their terrible circumstances, and they just take advantage, and that really makes you sick. But talking about acts of God, what about the earthquake in China this week? I mean, that's another disaster. I mean, today they were burying the people, cremating them, I think they were. I think the preferred Buddhist way of disposing of bodies is feeding them to the vultures or something. Not my idea, but apparently there were too many. I think over about 1,100 people they cremated today in a mass ceremony. And it's very tragic, obviously, for those people up there in northern China, northeast China, I think, somewhere near Tibet, in the mountains. And, they're asking the question, are we having more and more earthquakes now? Is it an unusual amount of disasters that we're experiencing, or is it something that, is normal? I don't know what the answer to that is. It seems a little bit frequent, these disasters. What about Brazil? I think April the 8th. That was my birthday. I don't normally make a fuss about these things or celebrate too much, but it puts a bit of a damper on it, doesn't it, when people are getting killed? I think about 200 people were killed in mudslides or something in Brazil. And that's not the only place. They're having disasters all over the place. So, and of course, we can't forget Haiti. They're still just recovering from their earthquake earlier in the year. So, whether or not things are getting more problematic in terms of earthquakes and things like that, I don't know. But what I do know is this blooming election campaign in Britain, in the UK, is not going to solve anything, and it's boring most people to tears. I know there was a lot of fuss about this first live debate with all of these politicians, Brown and Cameron and Nick Clegg. I met Nick Clegg a few years ago when he was a European minister. Anyway, he seemed to be the one who came out on top on that. But after May the 6th, when they've elected all the people and whether they've got a hung parliament, I think that sounds like a good idea, hanging the parliament. I don't know why they don't. But anyway, whether it's a hung parliament or if Labour's got a majority or Conservatives have got a majority, you can bet your life they're not going to solve any of the problems, and there'll be just as many earthquakes and other difficulties that we're facing from day to day. All I can say to you now is, whether or not we're having more earthquakes or natural disasters or not, or whether they're acts of God or not, what I would suggest is that you avoid breathing in too much volcanic ash. But if you are stuck in an airport somewhere and not able to travel to wherever it was you were planning to go to, just think of this. Enjoy the sunset, because apparently it's been much enhanced by all the volcanic ash that's blowing over. And this could go on for quite a while, so don't get too upset, and I hope that you don't lose too much money. Bye for now.